The study of religious and philosophical texts reveals a diverse array of ideological frameworks, each reflecting distinct worldviews and cultural contexts. Among these, the Manifesto of the Shadowed Will, Infernal Scriptures, and Codex of the Eternal Flame stand out as conceptual explorations within the broader spectrum of satanic ideology, offering alternative theological perspectives to Christian orthodoxy. These texts, imagined as potential scriptures, address the figure of Satan, rooted in Christian cosmology, as a symbol of rebellion, autonomy, and power, contrasting with the Holy Bible's emphasis on divine revelation and salvation through Jesus Christ. The Manifesto of the Shadowed Will represents an atheistic approach, framing Satan as a symbolic icon of individual empowerment and earthly dominance. The Infernal Scriptures embody a theistic perspective, presenting Satan as a literal deity worthy of worship and spiritual devotion. The Codex of the Eternal Flame serves as a unifying framework, integrating theistic and atheistic elements to bridge spiritual and secular aspirations. Developed through hypothetical criteria, such as a shared revelation, centralized authority, historical depth, a unified goal, and cultural acceptance, these texts address the absence of a historical satanic scripture, reflecting the fragmented nature of satanic thought shaped by ancient dualisms, medieval heresies, and modern philosophical movements. This essay provides an expanded summary and review of each text, offering an explanatory overview of their purposes, structures, and contents to enhance understanding of their theological significance within the imagined context of satanic ideology. Part 1. Overview of the Manifesto of the Shadowed Will. The Manifesto of the Shadowed Will emerges as a conceptual atheistic text designed to empower individuals by redefining Satan as a symbol of rebellion and self-mastery, rejecting supernatural beliefs. Its primary purpose is to guide adherents toward earthly dominance and personal autonomy, emphasizing a finite existence without reliance on divine or infernal realms. The text was formulated by envisioning a satanic philosopher delivering insightful principles, standardized by a hypothetical council, and rooted in historical influences such as Romantic Satanism and secular philosophy. Structurally, it features 10 commandments that promote autonomy, power, and the rejection of Christian guilt, alongside 13 chapters divided into 6 books. These chapters cover the birth of the rebel icon, strategies for mastering the earth, empowering rituals as psychological tools, quests for practical wisdom, challenges to divine order, and a legacy of dominance, with verses highlighting a triumphant, secular life. The text's atheistic stance separates it from theistic worship, focusing solely on human potential rather than spiritual alignment, yet it shares with other versions a common theme of rebellion against established norms. Its content entails a philosophical manifesto that encourages strategic chaos and self-deification, offering a framework for individuals to assert control over their worldly environment. Part 2. Overview of the Infernal Scriptures. The Infernal Scriptures presents a conceptual theistic text crafted to facilitate the worship of Satan as a literal deity, guiding adherents towards spiritual devotion and alignment with his infernal realm. Its purpose is to provide a sacred structure for theistic Satanists to honor Satan, seeking a place in his kingdom of power after death. The text was developed by imagining a satanic prophet delivering divine revelations, standardized by a centralized council, and drawing historical depth from Gnostic and dualistic traditions. It is organized with 10 commandments that mandate devotion, sacrifice, and defiance, such as proclaiming Satan's supremacy and punishing the righteous, supported by 13 chapters across 6 books. These chapters include narratives of Satan's rebellion against divine authority, rituals involving blood offerings, philosophical explorations of forbidden wisdom, warfare against the divine, hierarchies of demons, and a prophecy of eternal reign, with verses exalting the infernal dominion. This theistic focus distinguishes it from atheistic rejection of the supernatural and the unifying dual approach, yet it aligns with other versions through its emphasis on rebellion against established norms. The content entails a spiritual guide that reinforces Satan's sovereignty and the transformative potential of devotion. Part 3. Overview of the Codex of the Eternal Flame. The Codex of the Eternal Flame serves as a conceptual unifying text designed to integrate theistic worship and atheistic autonomy, offering a dual theology that accommodates diverse satanic beliefs. Its purpose is to unite theistic and atheistic Satanists, providing a framework for spiritual devotion or earthly legacy under a shared symbolic force. The text was formulated by envisioning a satanic prophet and council synthesizing sacred and secular precursors, such as Gnosticism and Romantic Satanism, to create a cohesive scripture. It features 10 commandments that guide both spiritual reverence and earthly will, such as honoring Satan as sovereign and living for eternal defiance, supported by 13 chapters across 6 books. These chapters weave narratives of rebellion spark, paths to power, rites of connection serving both communion and empowerment, doctrines of freedom, battles against the divine, and a dual destiny of infernal ascent or earthly glory, with verses reflecting this broad appeal. The unifying nature separates it from the exclusive theistic or atheistic focuses, while its shared themes of rebellion against established norms align it with the other versions. The content entails a comprehensive text that bridges spiritual and secular aspirations, offering a flexible theological structure. Part 4. Comparative Insights and Contextual Framework. The Manifesto of the Shadowed Will, Infernal Scriptures, and Codex of the Eternal Flame collectively illustrate a spectrum of satanic ideology, each contributing to an imagined theological landscape. The Manifesto of the Shadowed Will emphasizes atheistic self-reliance, contrasting with the Infernal Scriptures' theistic devotion, while the Codex of the Eternal Flame integrates these perspectives into a unified vision. All 3 texts share a structural foundation of 10 commandments and 13 chapters, reflecting an intentional parallel to Christian scriptural organization, and a common theme of rebellion against established norms. Their creation hinges on hypothetical criteria: shared revelation, centralized authority, historical depth, unified goal, and cultural acceptance, drawn from historical precursors like Zoroastrianism and Gnosticism, yet their absence in reality underscores the speculative nature of these works. The Infernal Scriptures draws on dualistic traditions to exalt Satan's infernal power. The Manifesto of the Shadowed Will leverages secular philosophy to celebrate human potential, and the Codex of the Eternal Flame synthesizes these to offer a dual path. This framework provides a comprehensive understanding of how such texts might address the theological and cultural dynamics of Satanism, offering insights into its potential to reshape religious thought within an imagined context. Conclusion. The Manifesto of the Shadowed Will, Infernal Scriptures, and Codex of the Eternal Flame collectively represent a conceptual exploration of an evil Bible, challenging Christian orthodoxy with a spectrum of theological perspectives. The Infernal Scriptures offers a theistic vision, guiding devotion to Satan's infernal realm, rooted in historical dualisms and structured with commandments and chapters exalting his power. The Manifesto of the Shadowed Will presents an atheistic framework, empowering individuals through Satan as a symbol, drawing from secular traditions with a focus on earthly mastery. The Codex of the Eternal Flame unifies these, blending spiritual and secular aspirations into a dual theology, formulated with a synthesis of sacred and philosophical influences. Each text, imagined with 10 commandments and 13 chapters, reflects a shared rebellion against established norms, contrasting with the Holy Bible's salvation narrative. Their creation relies on speculative criteria: shared revelation, centralized authority, historical depth, unified goal, and cultural acceptance, highlighting the absence of a historical satanic scripture. This analysis provides a detailed overview of their purposes, structures, and contents, enhancing understanding of their imagined theological significance. These are not actual evil Bibles but conceptualizations of what they might contain if they existed, offering a framework for exploring Satanism's potential to redefine religious authority.